Hey, greetings. What's up? This is your brother King Simon from KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com and KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Please share this. Please share this. Please share this. Get. Please share it with someone that might need to hear this. Okay, because this is going to be another brief 30-minute, straight to the point. Might even be less, but we're going to deal with numerology or numerovation and how you do have a choice. All the choices is in your hand. Like I've stated many times that numbers from an esoteric perspective and from a mathematical perspective is here to guide you. We use numbers all the time throughout our lives, and it's important that we recognize that the numbers that are connected to us are very helpful to guide us. Every number you see up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very, very good, very powerful numbers. Every one of them have a tone. Every one of them have a frequency. It's just like if you want to go to your favorite radio stations, let's say in New York, we have WBLS. Those are the call letters, but their frequency is 107.5 or 9. Then you have power 105.1. In order for you to get to that particular frequency, to start listening and engaging, you have to go to your radio and go to 105.1. You don't go to power. You don't go to WBLS. You don't even go to WWRL. You don't even go, you go to the number and that energy and frequency that will enable you to listen to that radio. So when I hear 101.1, that is a frequency that that radio station and that radio company own. And in New York, they call it power. Power 10.1, 105, 101.1, or 105.1, sorry, 105.1. That would be power 105.1. Okay, so this number relates to the frequency of that particular station. And in order for you to get to that station, you have to go to power. You got to go to 105.1. Like there's different frequencies that some people may vibrate under. There's certain frequencies you might hear about on YouTube. Like you might hear about the 528 frequency, which Joel Benjamin uses. 528. That frequency has a meaning. That frequency has a resonant energy that draws people to it for whatever means he's using it for. Now, for a person like me, when I add up a frequency like this is 10, that's 15. So 15 is in numerology that magical, that occult number that deals with balance, truth, justice, but it also deals with love. So it's a love frequency. It would be called, if you do the basic breakdown from numerology. Now, 15 in, let's say, the Chaldean system, we could go to a book and we can talk about 15 out of that book. Let's say 15 in the Chaldean system is usually known as the number of the magician. That is the number of the magician. Now, it says about this number that it's a good number for magnetism, charisma. It's also a good number for eloquence. It's a good number for fortune, for obtaining money and favors and gifts, which is very interesting to a numerologist like me because a person like Nipsey Hussle was born August 15th. A person like Nipsey Russell was born September 15th. So again, I see that number popping up of eloquence, charisma. That number, as according to this book, it says this person can make others happy, and he can shine light into the darkness, which Nipsey Russell did through his comedy. And Nipsey Hussle did through his philanthropic work, of course, building Marathon and also dealing in the hip hop world. So both of them has the 15 energy and they used it to the best of their abilities. Like I said, it is a number. It's a fortunate number when it comes to obtaining money, finance, and favors and gifts. Again, it adds up to the balance. Now, this is called you do have a choice. Now, every number, like I've said before, has a duality. In other words, if you're not using it for its highest frequency or its highest vibration, then you're using it for the lowest vibration of what I would call constructive, obstructive, and destructive. Interesting. Dealing with constructive, obstructive, and destructive. I would call them that. So each and every numbers have those three components to it. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, and the 9. Please share this video, share this because I'm going to touch every one of them before I get on. I'm going to touch the basic meaning of every one of them. I'm going to go into books like this and then explain it. This one is called Your Days Are Numbers. This is an old book, hard to find. You might be able to find it online if they're not sold out. I'm going to books like Anne Christie. This one is by Florence Campbell. This one is by Anne Christie, Numerology. Another very good book. Chaldean Numerology by Miss Brooke Thomas. And I might touch on this book by Mr. Kevin Quinn Avery. This one is called The Number of Life. Got to give books. Also, remember, get my book on YouTube. I'm not on YouTube, but on Amazon and Kindle. My book is called Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. And my children's book is called Numbers Are Simple. Our children's health is important. This is on Amazon and Kindle. Now, I'm dealing with choices that we make in this lifetime and how to use the numbers to help motivate you to make the better choice, so to speak. Okay? So it's all about making the better choice. That's why I do Numerovation. Numerovation. Um, as you know, it's a word that I've created and it means motivating you with your numbers. You can actually go to the Urban Dictionary and Google it up. I did submit it and it was peer reviewed by the people that runs the dictionary itself. And, you know, go on there and it will tell you the meaning. And it'll tell you that I'm the one that came up with it. But it's called Numerovation. Even if you Google it up, you'll find Numerovation comes straight to King Simon or Numeroversity or Numerovator. Using numbers to keep you on your highest level. That's why it says motivating you with your numbers. Like I have on my flyer here, if you want to do a numerovation session with me, because it's all about motivating you wherever you may be. I want you to be able to understand the so-called positive, which is the constructive, so-called negative, which is the obstructive, and the so-called destructive one, which is the X marks the spot. It don't mean 10, it means X because you're Xing out all possibilities of this. And just because you've gone to a destructive level don't mean that you can't go back up to a constructive level. But first you have to understand yourself, and it's that you do have a choice as a human being. In this realm, we've all been given this thing called willpower, which just the word will itself has a numerical frequency or vibration. Let's say, for instance, let's deal with the Pythagorean and the Chaldean system. The Pythagorean in the Chaldean system, the W is what we call the number 6. In the Chaldean system, the I is the 1. L is the 3, L is the 3. In the Pythagorean, it is the 3, L is the 3. This is a 9, and this is a 5. So when you add all this up, 6 plus 7 plus 3 is 10, that's 13. 4. In numerology, the 4 is the foundation number. It's the laying of the foundation. It's also the communication number. It's a number of structure, order, discipline, being very meticulous. So with your willpower, your will is a form of communication. As up to 13, because 13 first deals with power. According to many numerologists, the word 13 is the letter 13 is the number of transformation. And some may call it an unlucky number, but that is not the truth. When you understand the power of the 13 and the discipline of the 13 and association with the 13, it either could bring groundbreaking things to you, new discoveries, new exploration, but also on the other hand, the destructive mechanism of the number 13, it can bring destruction to you because, again, it adds up to the 4, which deals with discipline. So your willpower, you can will yourself to either be constructive, obstructive, or destructive. Everything is in your own hand. Either you're on this realm to do some real positive and constructive stuff. Let me move this camera a little. Yeah, it was good. It was good, right? Where we was at, I think. Yeah. Sorry. So please pay close attention. So no matter where you are, family, wherever you are, wherever you may be, you have a choice. And in these choices, something will manifest. That's why up there I got manifestation. In these choices, something will manifest. Whether you're constructive, there's a manifestation that comes out of it. Whether you're obstructive, there's a manifestation that comes out of that. Whether you're destructive, something is going to manifest out of that. Positive, negative, damn, they're X'd out. That's why I put the X. X'd out. But regardless of what you're going through, you have a choice to either stay on a constructive level, an obstructive level, or a destructive level. As a matter of fact, in my next book, I'm going to use those words many times throughout the book because I'm going to be dealing with depression and how to use numerovation for rising above depression. Is it is all the be all? I'm never going to say that, but it can give you some guidance, some kind of help in the next book. Even my books now and the books that I showed you just now can be very helpful. Now let's read the Pythagorean system and what that adds up to. Okay, 5 plus 9 equals 14 plus 6 equals 20, which is a 2. Now, in numerology, the 20 has its meaning also because the 20 in numerology, according to the tarot or the Chaldean, is the number of judgment. So it tells me that there's a certain judgment that you have to make with your willpower. You have the choice. So there's a judgment that you have to make. Although that 20 is a symbol of powerful awakening, new purpose, new plans, and all the different things, all the great things that it expounds to. On the negative of that is the indecisiveness, because these number 2s can be very indecisive. Anything dealing with that number 2 can be very indecisive. Anything dealing with the number 4 can be in their own head and thinking things out and sometimes think their way out of things. So this word will tells me something. Will let me know that it can be an emotional thing or it can be a very cold, rigid thing, but it is your power. You have the will to either be the greatest form of this vibration or you can be the lesser form of the vibration. Like I said, the number 13 can be very destructive. A lot of people fear 13, especially Europeans, only because of what they was taught and also what happened in the 1300s. A lot of people don't know that history. Remember, they was working on destroying the Moors by 1492. So a lot of that was being put in place. So a lot of stuff that they went through in the 1300s, that's also why they also have a fear of 13. That's one of the reasons. There's more than one. But the fear of the 13 shows me that, but one thing that I've learned over the years is that America has an affinity for the number 13. Remember the 13 colonies, the 13 stripes on the flag. You know, this place was founded on July 4th, which 1 plus 3 is a 4. So that 4 is something that they really resonate with, that unusual, because 4 in numerology is also that unusual, that strange thing that happens, the unusual number, unusual way of how they apply discipline, the unusual way and strange way of how they apply structure and all that type of stuff. So paying attention to your willpower and you having a choice is very important. Like I said, I'm going to keep it moving. So whether you're born on the first of any month or anything connected to that number one, like of course 1, 10, 19, or 28, you will be deemed the number one because everything right here adds up to a number one. We're just going to deal with the basics. I won't even deal with the compound numbers right now. Everything that you see under the number one adds up to the number one. And the creative mechanism of the number one, according to not just myself, but other numerologists, we all agree for all these many years. This particular book is written in 1931. Book is written in 1931. So even from that time, 1931, what Miss Florence Campbell said, that the constructive consensus of all numerologists at that time was that that is the number of creation, that's the number of originality, the number of independence, courage, progress, ambition, positiveness, willpower, being a leader, being a pioneer, being active, being an active force to reckon with. That's the positive of the number one. We're dealing with the number one first. The negative, or what we say the obstructive part of the number one, is being lazy, being dependent on somebody, being selfish or selfishness, instability, egotism, weakness, fear, braggadocious, stagnation, stubborn. And that is all the obstructive or negative meaning of the number one. The destructive meaning of the number one is being a tyrant, being a bully, being selfless or selfish at all costs, don't caring about anybody. That is the destructive mechanism of the number one. So we got to pay attention to that, because which one are you using? Which one are you becoming? Are you becoming constructive? Are you constructive? Are you obstructive? Or are you destructive? Because out of all three of them, that's what it's going to be. Anybody born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of any month. Let's go to the number two. Anybody born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, 29th of any month, because all of it adds up to a number two when you just go down. Now, the compound numbers are different, but we're not going to get into the compound numbers. Not going to get into that. Compound numbers are different, but we're not going to get into the compound numbers, family. So, the positive or the constructive vibration of the number two is love, being a lover, love, service, being gentle, gentleness, harmony, being adaptable, being charming, being a diplomat, friendliness, dealing with rhythm, dealing with receptivity, intuition, cooperation, consideration for others. That is the constructive mechanism of the number two, or the constructive meaning of the two. There's more you can add, there's more you could either exaggerate or elaborate on in each and every number, but we're at the number two, and I just want to explain, even if you're born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or 29th of the month, this is part of you because it adds up to the number two. The negative of the number two is being indifference, shyness, self-effacement, overly sensitive, spineless, being a bootlicker or bootlicking, sulking, discontent, in indecisiveness, second guessing yourself, being careless. That's part of the number two's obstructive part of them. That's the obstructive part of them. But the destructive part of the number two, which is being deceptive, being a deceiver, yes. Mischief making, sulliness and cruelty and cowardness, having a bad temper, slyness, being slick, lying, being a pessimist. That is the destructive level of the number two, or the destructive meaning of the number two. So regardless if you're born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th of any month, you got to understand that's what it is. That's what you need to at least just figure out to yourself, because you have willpower and you have all this power in your hands. You have the willpower. You got the power. You got the power to take that to the next level for yourself. Not stay destructive. Even those that are in prison that are under these numbers, when you come out, or even while you're there, you don't have to maintain a destructive mentality or destructive attitude or an obstructive attitude. It's time to construct and build for yourself, for your family, or for people outside, even those that are in prison. So it serves a purpose. I want to go through this a little bit more faster because I want to make sure we're finished. Let's deal with the three, or anybody born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or the 30th of the month. All of them add up to the number three. So in numerology, and according to books like this, Your Days Are Numbered by Florence Campbell, very good book, if you're into studying the mystery system of numerology. And like I've said before, I'm here to help, not here to tell you about how you're going to die, not here to tell you about yourself. I'm here to guide you. Some numerologists will tell you about yourself and all that, which is all cool. I can do that. But I use Numerovation to help guide you through the obstructive and destructive mechanism or destructive meanings that you may be going through because of your willpower, your thought patterns, or what society have, circumstances surrounding you may have, where you have to keep on thinking that constructive thought. So people born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th month, the three is the artistic, the constructive meaning of the number three, and its vibration is being artistic, expressing themselves, joy of living, freedom from worry, being optimistic, inspirational, talented, imaginative, good taste, stability or sociability, and also friendliness and kindness is the number three. But the obstructive or negative of the number three, wherever three falls on in your chart too, and wherever these numbers fall in your chart, whether it's the life path, whether it's the soul urge, whether it's the achievement number, the alignment number, wherever it falls in your life, that's where that three can hold some type of strength, whether positive or negative, whether constructive, obstructive, or destructive. The negative of the number three is being a worrywart, whining all the damn time, criticism, gossiping, silly pride, being extravagant, vanity, being too trivial, superficial, exaggerating things to a point that it's unbelievable. Threes can do that. Also, scandal is one of the things of the three. People that are very scandalous are always getting caught up in scandals. You could be in a 3-year, 3-month, you could be born under the number three. There's many people that have proven that they've gotten into scandal. James Brown, born on the 3rd of the month. My boy Star from Star Chamber, born on the 3rd of the month. He gets into a lot of stuff, a lot of scandal. Usually it's with their mouth. Their mouth gets them to a lot of stuff. Dame Dash, she's another one born, and all of them born on the same day, which is interesting. And I respect all of them because they've taken their frequency, even without knowing this, and taken it to the level. Even if you don't know this or believe, quote unquote, believe in it, it's still with you, because whenever I ask somebody their birthday, they always seem to know their birthday. I don't care if you're born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month, they always seem to know their birthday. So Understand that 3 is there. The destructive thing of the 3 is jealousy, hypocrisy, wastefulness, having a yellow streak, intolerance, um, scandal, and being reckless. That's really not part of the negative. That's really part of the destructive. Being reckless and being scandalous, and constantly having drama in your life, or bringing dramas in your life. That's the number 3 energy. Gotta stay optimistic. Number 3. Let's deal with the number 4. Or people born on the 4th, 13th, 22nd, or the 31st of the month. All of that equals the number 4. Now, 4 is known as the practical number. On its constructive, it's all about practicality. It's all about service. It's all about patience. It's all about organization, application, devotion. Very trustworthy number 2. People born under number 4 are usually very trustworthy, loyal, worthiness, economic, and dignity, that they're very pragmatic, all that kind of stuff that comes with the positive or the constructive of number 4. The negative of the number 4 is, according to Florence here, is plotting, narrowness, feeling repressed, um, clumsiness, dogmatic, cruelness, being very crude to other people, restrictive, very rigid and stern. You find that people that's born up the number 4 are very stern and rigid and all that. That's where that energy, or they might have a lot of 4s in their name. They might be a number 4 life path or personality or alignment number. That is the negative or the obstructive meaning or vibration of the number 4. Destructive of the number 4 is being vulgar, vulgarity, uh, animalism, being animalistic, hatred, violence, jealousy, inhumane in some sense, resistance, destructive, and cruelty. That's also the number 4. That's the destructive meaning of the number 4. Let's deal with the 5. I want to go through this and finish it up. 5, the constructive, obstructive, and destructive meaning of the number 5. Number 5, and anybody born on the 5th, 14th, or the 23rd of any month equals the 5. 5 in numerology is what we call the freedom lover, progress, versatility, understanding, variety, adaptability, mental curiosity, life experiences. They love life experience, cleverness, unattachment, sociable, changeable, travel. They love to travel. They love adventure. They love companions, but they love those that are fun and have fun. The negative of the number 5, or what we call the obstructive of the number 5, is being irresponsible, procrastination, carelessness, self-indulgence, thoughtlessness, inconsistent, sensationalism, bad taste. That is the obstruction or obstructive of the number 5. The destructive of the number 5 is perversion. 5 can go anywhere with sex if they're not disciplined. They can go anywhere with sex. They can go from asexual to heterosexual to homosexual to bisexual to pedophilia to bestiality. They can go anywhere with their 5s. That's how deep that 5 can go if they don't have discipline. Abuse of freedom is one of their destructive. Indulgence in drink and alcohol and dope and all that type of stuff. That's why I don't say the word dope. I don't say dope because that's what is encouraged in the dope culture. I say diop. Diop. Diop is this, D-I-O-P, like Sheikh Anta Diop, because this word in numerology means advancement, something to advance, to take yourself to the number 1 level. Dope is drugs. Let's get real familiar with that. That's a drug. But diop, let's say it in the African language, diop. Somebody say dope. Somebody say diop. Yo, that's diop. That's my new word. I don't say dope. I said that's diop because that deals with advancement. Advancement and growth. Diop. Forget the dope. Let's get with the diop. That's about advancement, advancements, in your life and what you do. So whatever you throw up there, that's something that's going to advance us to take us to the next level. So it's all about deal, not dope. So again, that 5 negative is about sensuality, overindulgence of sensuality, drugs, dope, all that kind of stuff. Perversion, that is the destructive mechanism of number 5. Let's go to the number 6. People born on the 6th, 15th, or the 24th of any month. Almost running out of time, but I'm going to finish this all off. Now, constructive meaning of the number 6 is love, harmony, home, responsibility, adjustment, musical talent, sympathy, understanding, domestic, guardianship, stability, poise, protective, healing, firmness, balance, idealism, conscientious, justice, burden bearing, service to mankind. It's ma'at. The balance. It's the balance. That's the constructive meaning of the number 6. Like I say, you do have a choice. And in that choice, that's when the manifestation takes place. Whether you're going to do it constructively, obstructively, or destructively is up to you. The negative of the number 6 is anxiety, worry, meddlesome, being too meddling into things, misplaced sympathy, mistaken ideals, interfering into things, being too overly prideful, unwillingness to serve people, and despondency, and those type of things. That is the negative of the number 6. Also, being unbalanced, untruthful, uncaring is also the negative. Unloving is also that negative of the number 6. The destruction of the number 6, the destructive mechanism of the number 6 is being cynical, egotistical, suspicious, jealous, succumbing to being a slave, a domestic tyrant, hard-headed. Those are the destructive mechanism of the number, or the meaning of the number 6. Let's go to the number 7. And all those that are born on the 7th, 16th, or the 25th of the month. Let me write down 8 so we can keep on going. 26, and let's write down 9. I'll write down 9 after. The last one, I'll finish off with 9. So we're going to do 7 and 8 real quick. So the constructive of the 7, the constructive meaning of the number 7, mental analysis, technicalities, dealing with technicalities, introspection, staying at peace and poise, and scientific research and spirituality, faith, trust, refinement, wisdom, silence, theories and fundamental. Also, that's the research in numbers, all about researching, reflecting. It's also another intuitive number like the number 2, the number 7, and the number 11. Those are very intuitive number, and the number 22. Those are all very intuitive number, but we're dealing with that. Those numbers. The negative of the number 7, or the obstructive of the number 7, is melancholy, being fault-finding, sarcastic, cold and aloft, skeptical, confusing, humiliating people, being too nervous, erratic, worrying too much, defeating themselves through worrying, and self-destructive thought. Those things, that's the negative of worrying and being too deep into your own head. That's also the negative. The destructive is also being faithless, drinking, going down that drinking and indulging in those type of things, malice, suppression, deceitfulness, being a thief, cheating, craftiness, being too secretive. That's also the meaning of the number 7. And what's so funny about that 7, remember, the secret agent, one of the top secret agents in the world, and I've said that before on a few other channels, is 007. 7 is there. And what's so funny is that the person that was one of the top secret agents and one of the world-known, the most successful of the 007 franchise was Sean Connery. Sean Connery. And he's born August 25th, which is a 7. Go figure. I can't make this stuff up. And then the person who discovered or who wrote those books about James Bond and 007, his name is Ian Fleming. Ian, in numerology, especially let's deal with both systems, shall we? 91115. In the Chaldean, which is a more older and mystical system, 1 plus 1 plus 5 is a 7. I can't make this up, people. This one here, 9 plus 1 is 10, that's 15. That's 6. That's in the Pythagorean system. But I see the 7. But what's so funny, 6 deals with, of course, the need for balance, love, and all that stuff. But remember, 15 is also that magical number that also adds a little bit more depth to if I did a reading for somebody named Ian. But because he's the one that discovered 007, the 7 of the Chaldean system resonated more with me because he invented that character, 007, and his name adds up to a 7. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. It's so funny. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Also, remember, get Lloyd Strayhorn's book, too. Lloyd Strayhorn's book, Numbers and You, and his other one, he has a workbook, and he also has Lloyd's Book of Numbers also. Very good books to have in your collection. That's one of my teachers and dear friends for many years. Now, let's go to the number 8. The number 8 in numerology, we all know the constructiveness of the number 8 is power, authority, success, material, wealth, freedom, judgment, discrimination, executive abilities, organization, leadership, management, practicality, thoroughness, dependability, self-reliance, control, and power to succeed. So if 8 or 17 or 26 come up in any part of your chart, I will reveal what that is for you because each compound number has its own meaning also. But when it comes with that 8, that's the constructiveness of the number 8. So that constructiveness of the number 8 will help you to manifest what you need to manifest if you put the work in. Work still has to be put in. The negative of the number 8 is being strained, hardness, being too overly material, ambitious for self and money, too ambitious for self and money, demand for recognition, intolerance, worrying, scheming, love for power, carelessness, impatience, poor judgment, and misspent energy. Also, the negative is being undisciplined because that is a multitude of the 4, 4 and 8, a multitude of each other, and 4 and 8 are the disciplinary numbers. So it's all about maintaining discipline. Also, 8 is known as the old soul number because 8 is like 2 zeros on top of each other, and 0 also connects with the old soul of infinity, things in the infinite realm. So that's why the 8 looks like a 0, and then sometimes some people call it the infinity sign, but these symbols are 2 different symbols only in the case because this is 2 zeros on top of each other, and 0, 1, 0 going one way counterclockwise, the other one going clockwise. Build and destroy. So I see why the 5% call it the build and destroy, because either it's going one way or the other. That's build and destroy. Either you could build your empire, you could destroy your empire. It's totally up to you. That's why it's called the build and destroy number in the 5%, which I was a part of the 5% when I was young, talking about the organization. I'm still part of the 5%, to tell you the truth right now, because I'm still teaching. 17 is known as the legacy leaving number. 26 is known as the be careful of bad advice number. Even people born on that number, you got to be careful of bad advice, bad unions, bad partnerships, all that kind of stuff. 17, it's all about leaving legacy. People like Steve Harvey born on the 17th, Michelle Obama born on the 17th, Michael Jordan born on the 17th, Les Brown born on the 17th, Muhammad Ali born on the 17th. That's about legacy. But anything dealing with 8 deals with money and power. Okay, money, power, executive. But you have to understand the material and the spiritual world and how it works together. But let's not deal with that right now. I gotta get ready to finish this. And let's go to the number 9. People born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of any month. Boom. The constructiveness or the constructive of the number 9 is universal love, brotherhood, universal brotherhood, universal peace, charity, compassion, the higher law, artistic geniuses, our selfless service, philanthropic, humanitarian, magnetism, sympathy, understanding, romantic, generosity, uh, breadth into a new viewpoint of things, because 9 is that higher number. It's the highest number really in the basic number chart until it starts to repeat itself. But of course, 0 then becomes 10 and 11, 12, whatever, and so on and so forth, all the way to 9,099,999. It's infinite, infinite. But we ain't even talk about the zero, because anything with zero adds a little much more dimension and more depth and all that, adds more power to it, but we're not going to get into that. So the constructiveness I just gave you of the constructive of the number 9 and negative of the number 9, being over emotional, egotistical, um, uh, not handling your force or using your force correctly, being impractical, being fickle, being aimless, being angry, getting into too much confrontation and anger. Usually when I see, what's so funny with me, when I see there's a lot of argument going on YouTube or in somebody's feed on Facebook, I usually read the person's number or person's name, and then I find either the number 9 that's in their name, I find that their names add up to a number 9, or their vowel and their consonants add up to a number 9. So I see that's where the argument. Now, the two most argumentative numbers is usually the 8 and the 9. The two most highly argumentative numbers is the 8 and the 9, usually. 1 can be argumentative, 3 can be argumentative, 7 can be argumentative to it. But as far as my observation and my studies, I've noticed that people connected to that number 8 and that 9 can be very confrontational or argumentative. Or they like a good debate. Even if it's not really heated, they like a good debate. People born under that 8 and 9. Highly, they love that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's being too much of that, that's the negative of that. The destructive part of that number 9 is being immoral, being immoral, being vulgar, being bitter, going into fighting and being confrontational and fighting confrontation with other entities without even need to be confrontational. But those are destructive. Anything that gets into being immoral or vulgar or bitter in any form of way for the number 9, that can be very destructive for them. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be a punk. No, I'm not saying you got to be a punk. There's a time for this and a time for that. There's a time for this and a time for that. 9 just has to be very much more protective, even against military or knives or weapons. So anytime I see somebody born with this number 9, I always tell them, or born under these numbers, if you're going to get into weapons, please go to a place that can teach it to you properly. Know the protocols of the weapon, whether it's knife, gun, machine gun, whatever you're going to learn, know the protocols of the weapon, please. Okay, so those are all the numbers right there, 1 through 9. And you know what? Let me go into the master numbers real quick. Master numbers real quick. 1 would be 11. 1 would be at 22. I'm just dealing with the dates. I'm not going to go up to 33 and all that kind of stuff, but dealing with the people born on the 11th and the 22. Although the lower octave of the 11 is the number 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2. The lower octave of the number 22, the lower octave of the number 11 is 2, and the lower octave of the number 22 is 4. So 4 still has a significant meaning to y'all, because like any other masters, you got to earn your mastery. Like any master, it's a master number, you got to earn your mastery. And sometimes I usually say that 10, 20, and 30 are master numbers or master potential, because 0, anything following the 0, adds a higher potential to each number. So whatever 1 is, it brings a higher potential. Whatever 2 is, it brings a higher potential. Whatever 3 is, it brings a higher potential. Just like the computer binary code, where you have to have 001100010011. 0 brought high potential to why we are able to use the computer today, or use technology today, because of the adding of the 0. Just simple stuff. But let's deal with 11 and 22 of a master number. Now, according to Florence, again, dealing with Florence in her book, your number, then I'm going to add some to it. Your days are numbered. 11, people born on the 11th, the constructive of the number 11 is being intuitive, having revelations, being inventor, poetry, art, spirituality, fire, zeal, idealism, priestlyhood, evangelistic, martyrdom, immateriality, immortality, and remember, 11 is that master number of vision, being a visionary, writing your visions, also letting out your visions. You have ideas, you see things that other people don't see, number 11 and number 22. But the negative of the number 11 is being aimless, shiftless, lack understanding, fanaticism, self-superiority, uh, uh, being indecisive, negative to others for no reason. That is also one of the 11's. That's also the 11's negative or obstructive, what we call obstructive. Like constructive, obstructive, and destructive. What you might call positive, negative, and damn, they're out of here. The X'd out. You know, destructive of the number 11 is being miserly, debauchery, degradation, dishonesty, deviltry, and the attributes of a crook, because 11 is also the master deceiver number. 11 is the number of deception. Not only not only those that are born under number 11 can be deceived, but they can also be master deceivers too. Very good at hiding and keeping things to themselves. So those that are born under number 11, I'm always leery of your ass. I'm paying attention. I read between all the lines and the bull crap sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I consult the numbers real quick. That's what I do. You know, although all of us have intuition, I consult the numbers just to bring it tangible, bring it to this realm for me to understand on a better level. That's why numbers exist, to give you guidance, to bring you certain understanding, to give you a certain amount of awareness of what's going on in this realm. So in the 22, last but not least, the constructive of the 22 is power on all planes, practical idealism, direction, international, upliftment, being uplifted in some form or fashion. Material master, that is the constructive of the number 22. Master builder, they call it. Master builder. The master disciplinarian, that is the master communicator. People born under the 22 is known for the master communication and the master of their destiny. Sam Cooke, Beanie Man, Shaggy, all born on the 22nd of the month, if you study their numbers. On the 11th of the month, people like Mr. Farrakhan, Elephant Man, Taraji P. Henderson, all born on the 11th of the month. You got to understand those master numbers and how they work. And even if you have it in your birthday, or you have it in your life path, or you have it in your soul urge, or you have it in your destiny numbers, or you have it in the vow, you know, in any part of your chart, at 11 is showing where what you're supposed to be doing in your chart, and what type of high energy, or what type of visionary energy you're supposed to have. Same with the 22. Wherever it shows up in your chart, it's showing you what type of visionary you have. Now, the negative of the 22 is doing get rich schemes. You got to be careful getting into get rich schemes. Having big thoughts. I mean, not big thoughts, but big talk, but no action to back it. Inferiority complex is also the number 22's negative. Grudging service, begrudging of people in your service, being unorganized, undisciplined, uncaring is also the negative of the number 4 or the number 22. Being indifferent, and like I said, you can use the negative of those 4 because remember, this is a high number, just like the number 11. Just like the number 11, the number 11 is a high number, and the 2 is the lower octave of the number 11. So if you're doing the negative, you can also drop the negative of the number 2 and the number 4 also, or the destructive of the number 2 and the number 4. So you can, if you can look back at the number 2 and the number 4 and what I said about the number 2 and the 4, it also pertains to the number 11 and number 22, because that's the lower octave of those numbers. That's the lower octave of the numbers. So pay attention. The destructive of the number 22 is viciousness, using black magic for bad. Crime, the criminal mind, is also the master number 20, master number 22. And remember, these two tools mean something. Very intuitive numbers. The number two, very intuitive. So your gut feelings is always going to let you know. This is very intuitive also because it adds up to a two, but master number 11 is very two. It's very intuitive. So it means look, go for your gut feelings. Your gut feelings is never wrong. Go for your gut feelings. Go and pay attention to your gut feelings, especially if it's operating on its most positive and productive thought pattern. So you can keep it constructive, or you can become obstructive or destructive. Any old way you go, it will manifest something. It's all about that manifestation. Again, family, I went over time, about an hour, going up 50 minutes. Looking at the time right now. It's all good. Once again, I want to thank y'all. I just wanted to go through those numbers briefly. If you ever want to take one of my classes, I only allow 10 to 15 people in my classes, online classes. Can be taught on a private page on YouTube or a private page on Facebook. My classes are $200 to $250 for 4 weeks, and each class is like 2 to 3 hours. I do allow question and answers within the class. You will receive a syllabus of the class or a curriculum of what the class was. If you do want to take my classes, if you do want to inquire about my classes, please email me at fastest email to get in contact with me would be numbers are, let me write that down so you could have it right here. Numbers are simple at Gmail. If you want to do a numerology session with me, please text me your birthday, your date of birth, and your full name. Whether you got a middle name, first, middle, last. If you got only 2 names, just text me at 347-496-1022. Text me your full name and date of birth. It is $2 per minute, but we have to do a minimum of 35 minutes, which is $70. If you don't want it recorded, it is $90. For an hour, it would be $120, but if you want it recorded, it will be $130. That means I take off $10 on the recording, and you will get the recording sent to you via email. And guess what? You'll be able to listen to it over and over and over again until you're ready to do the next section or you're ready to learn for yourself. I usually tell my participants, I don't call them students, I call them participants because we are participating in an interaction with each other. I usually tell my participants that if they have to come back to me for any type of consultation after they've learned from my class, that means it's only to confirm certain things, because numerology helps to reveal things that you are intuitively already thinking about. I'm just here to confirm it with numbers. So you would make the constructive move and not the obstructive move and not the destructive move. So you can manifest. So you can manifest some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But believe me, I've been manifesting it since I learned it from Lloyd Strayhorn, but I started learning and studying under numbers under under Imam Isa, aka Dr. York, in the Ansarullah community. I was studying in that because they were studying Abjad, and he was talking about the number 19. So the numbers really intrigued me about the number 19 and how to use it. And also in the 5% Nation, because we used to break down the different numbers and what number 1 mean, number 2, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, all that kind of stuff. We used to break down all that kind of power and all that. I even have it in my book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. So I want to thank everybody. Remember, hit me up on Instagram. That's King Simon Productions, or Numerovation, or Numeroversity. Numeroversity, that's another Instagram page. Or hit me up on Facebook at King Simon or MC Simon, or hit me up at King Simon Productions on Facebook. That's a public page, so any amount of people can join that. That's King Simon Productions with an S at the end. Twitter, King Simon Prod. That's KINGSIMON Prod, PROD. Again, text me your full name and date of birth. 35 minutes or an hour, it is $70 to $90 for the 35-minute one, and it's an hour, $130 for an hour. You will not be disappointed. Believe me, I will be high energy and high strung and ready to get in, and you get to ask any amount of questions you want within that hour, because it is a conversational piece, and it's not how much I know, it's how much I care. So I share this wisdom with you. Share this wisdom that I have obtained not only through my regular studies, but through my internal studies, and help to guide you to be your very best. At the end of the day, everything is in your own hands. I can't control you. I can't decide whether you're going to be constructive, obstructive, or destructive. It's wholly up to you. At the end of the day, just it's up to me. I could have been a very destructive force if I would have continued on the path that I continued after dropping out of high school. I had to go take my GED. It's just what it is. But understand, I decided to maintain a constructive attitude. Can these things still come about? Of course, it can still come about, but I keep my mind on constructive, positive stuff. Even when I get into arguments, I just want to calm it down and be at peace. I don't even want to get into arguments sometimes, because I know where I can go with it. And sometimes you know when what the other individual can go with it. So you want to maintain peace. If you want to take my class or contact me with any questions, numbers are simple. Numbers are simple. Numbers are simple at gmail.com. That's numbers are simple at gmail.com. I respect you. I love you. And remember, you do have a choice. You have the choice whether you're going to stay constructive, obstructive, or you're going to be destructive. Because if you're destructive, it's going to be a lot of lacking of manifestation. But if you're constructive, you'll manifest a lot in your life more. But if you're destructive, you got to be very obstructive. You got to be very careful, because there is cause and effect. There is karma. It is going to come back to you. What goes around comes around, and it smack you in your face real hard if you're not maintaining your positivity and your structure and your discipline. All right, I'm out of here, family. Next time, I'll probably broadcast again when I'm with Dr. Africa, but he will not be on. Dr. Africa, don't come on. I'm going to be on and hang out with him for a while, and then we're going to do what we got to do. Remember, I got the big event coming up. With tribute to Delbert Blair, tribute to Dr. Delbert Blair, one of our ancestors, with people like Sister California, Red Pill and Blue Pill, Elder Bishop Renee, Uncle Rising Son, Joel Benjamin, and Ross Ben, all happening at Nicholas, Brooklyn. That's 1396 Fulton Street, Brooklyn, New York, between Brooklyn Avenue and New York Avenues. Their number over there is 718-858-4400. The number over at Nicholas, Brooklyn is 718-858-4400. It's $13 on Eventbrite right now. King Simon Productions got Eventbrite right now, and it's $13 before 4 p.m. Doors open at 3 p.m. It's $13 before, but it's going to be more after. We are live streaming it. If you're on